your boy Osas, and today's episode we are going to get started with building out the components that's going to be responsible for creating a new channel. And so right here on the simulator, I am going to demonstrate what we're going to be building today. The goal is to be able to click this new channel button, which is this plus button, presents a new sheet, and with this we can be able to create either a individual channel or create a group channel. And so our focus today is just building out this specific component right here, which as you can see is just a navigation stack with a bunch of list items. So let's get right out and get started with that. We're going to jump into Xcode, and we're going to go inside of our channels tab. And so let's see, I'm going to close out the alt tab. I'm actually going to just close out all of this currently open tabs. I'm going to go into the channel folder. Under the view, I am going to create a new file, SwiftUI file. And I'm going to call it the ChatPartnerPickerScreen, or ChatPartnerPickerView, whichever one you want, but we're going with the screen terminology. So the ChatPartnerPickerScreen, we're going to create the SwiftUI view, and it's really just a very simple navigation stack. So we're going to get started with that. We have a navigation stack, and we have a list, okay? And let's resume our SwiftUI preview to make sure everything is working. Oh, we're live now. So we have a navigation stack, we have a list. Now we're going to have our title, which the navigation title in this case is going to be new chat. So we're also going to change the navigation display modes to inline. So navigation, display mode, inline, okay? And we're going to start building out the actual sections in each of our lists. So if we go back to the simulator, as you can see, we have two different sections. The first section allows us to be able to create group chats, while the second section allows us to create individual chats with our potential chat partners. And so let's get started with building out this first section. And I'm just going to call it the edit section, or whatever we want to call it. And I'm going to represent this using an enum because we have a new group, we have a new contact, and a new community item. So I'm going to jump right below here, and I'm going to create an enum to represent those specific value. So I'm going to call it enum, chat partner picker options. I think that's a good name. And it's going to be a string. It's going to be case iteratable and identifiable as well. And we have the first case, which is going to be new group. The second case, which is new contact. The third case, which is going to be new community. Okay, and I'm just gonna, create the actual value. New group, new contact, and new community. Okay. The other thing that we need to do is, since we made this identifiable, it's going to yell at us because we need to conform to that identifiable protocol. It needs to have some sort of ID. So we'll create a computer property that represents that. And the ID is just going to be the raw value of the string. So we're just going to return a raw value. Okay. And the reason I'm making this identifiable is so I could use it as a for each, as a data source. And then I'm going to create, maybe a title, which is just going to be of type string. I'm just going to return the raw value as well for the title. The final bit of the equation is I would like to create a computer property that represents the image name. So what I'm really trying to do here is when we jump into our simulator again, if we take a look at this, each of this row has a sort of image representation. So for new group, we have 2 persons. For new contact, a single person with plus, and so on and so forth. So we're going to do that with this computer property called image name, and which is just going to be a string. And remember, this is going to be SF symbol. So as always, we're going to switch on the enum self. We're going to switch on the enum self. And for new group, we're just going to make it, I think, person to field. I think that's what we need. For new contact, we're going to fill out person.field.badge.plus. And then for new community, we're going to return person. I think it's 3. I'm going to command shift and L, open up SF symbol, and I'm going to see if I can find it here. I think it's person.3.field. That's what I want. Yeah. So person.3.field. And that's pretty much all we need for this enum. The last bit of the equation is I'm going to jump up here. So inside of our list, I'm going to create a for each. Okay, and this for each is just going to be our chat partner picker option dot all cases. And this is why we made it case iteratable, because case iteratable has this property called all cases. And also because we made it identifiable, it just makes this super nice because we can just say item in, and let's just create a test. Let's create a label that represents this so we can see what we're working with on the screen. And so it's going to have a title. And the title is just going to be item.title. And then the image name is just going to be the item.image name. Look at that. Doesn't that look beautiful? That's exactly what we have in mind. And so the other bit of the equation is, of course, we need to style this a little bit, add a background color and a clip shape. And so let's go right ahead and do that. But I think for us to do that, let's just extract this into its own sort of method or some sort of a struct. So I'm going to come down here. I'm going to create an extension on this ChatPartnerPickerScreen. And I'm just going to create another, struct. I'm going to call it, I don't know, header view. Again, not necessarily the best name, but it gets the job done. And what is this header view? Well, it's just going to be, actually, header view is a terrible name. What's a good name? Chat partner first section. Let's just call it header item. How about that? Header item view. How about that? I think that's a good compromise. And it's just going to be a button. That's really all this is. And it's a button with a label. Okay. And I'm going to jump outside of the body right here, and I'm going to create a body for the actual button. So I'll say button body. It's going to be of some view. And what does this do? It's just going to be an H stack. So I'm not going to go with a label. I like to use H stacks because, H stack just gives us way more flexibility. And the system name, so this header view is going to take in something. Well, it's going to take in an item, and the item is just going to be of type chart partner picker option. Okay. And the system name, well, let's first fill in this button body, and the system name is just going to be the item.image name, the computer property that we created earlier. And let's give it a font of footnote. Let's give it a frame of 40. So frame width 40, height 40. Let's give it a background color. And as always, I'm going to do a system gray just because they look nice. So I'm going to do system gray 6 this time around. Okay. And I'll give it a clip shape of circle. So for us to see all of this, I'm going to replace this label with this header item view. So I'm going to say header item view. It's going to ask for an item, and we're just passing that item right there. And look at that. That looks so much more better, right? The other thing I would like for us to do is to come right here and then put the text. And so the text is just going to be text, and it's just going to be the item, the title. And I think that looks good. That definitely matches sort of the design that we have in mind here. If we jump back to the simulator, yep, I think that looks like what we have in mind. Okay. The other thing that I need for us to do is to create, I'm going to get out of Xcode again, go back to our simulator. We need to create this other section, which has an header called contacts on WhatsApp. And this looks pretty simple. So I'm just going to go down here. And again, I'm going to create, let's think for a second here. What do we really need? We need some sort of a chat partner row view. And the way I'm going to do that is by creating a struct here. So I'm just going to create a struct. I'm going to call it chat partner row view. And honestly, let's create a new file for this, guys. Sorry about that. This should have its own file. So I'm going to go here, create another new SwiftUI file. I'm going to call it chat partner row view create. And what is chat partner row view? Well, it's just a H stack. Okay. And we're going to use a circle. Okay. And we're going to give it a frame with width and height. So the width should be, I don't know, 50 or maybe 40. And the height is 40. And we're going to create a V stack right underneath this. And that V stack needs to have an alignment of leading. And again, remember, what we're trying to build here is just this individual rows here, like this actual contacts. And so as you can see, it's an H stack with some sort of a profile image view and a V stack that has the username and the user bio. So that's all we're just trying to do with this chat partner row view. So we have a V stack and the username, let's just say text is equals to QA user 15 for now. And it's bold, as we can tell. And a foreground style of, I'm just going to say WhatsApp black. And the reason I'm doing WhatsApp black instead of just calling it regular black, like instead of using the built-in black, is because the WhatsApp black color, which if we jump into our assets, you notice under the color section, we have something called WhatsApp black. It's actually dynamic. It supports both light mode and dark mode. And that's why I provided these assets. And you can see from any appearance, which is the white appearance and the dark appearance. So that's going to come really handy later on when we are supporting dark mode. And so we're going to create the text, which is the bio. And I'm just going to say, I don't know, you know what? Let's actually just use the user placeholder. So let's use user item dot placeholder, and I'm going to do user item dot. Actually, it's going to take in a user. Sorry, let's take in a user, which is of type user item, and we're just going to say user the username, and this is user dot bio unwrapped. And let's make the bio. Well, this is going to yell at us, and let's fix that, and then we can use that placeholder right here that we created in the last episode. And let's make the font's caption. Let's make the foreground style gray. So foreground style of gray. Look at that. That looks pretty good. And I think that's really all that we need for now with this chat partner row view. So I'm going to take this chat partner row view, go back to our ChatPartnerPickerScreen, and I'm just going to dump it right below this for each. I'm going to create another section. So I just create a section. and just dump in this chat partner row view. It's going to ask for a user. We just use the placeholder user for now. And let's create a for each here. So let's repeat this a bunch of times. So I'm going to do a for each, and this is just a dummy data for us to be able to see what we're working with. And look at that. Okay, that looks pretty good. The other thing I'm going to like for us to do is to add an header to this section. So we're just going to come down here. We're going to do header, and the header just says contacts on WhatsApp. Contacts on WhatsApp. And as you can notice, this is all capitalized. In order for us to disable that capitalization for list header, we can change the text case. We can apply the text case modifier and just pass in nil. And look at that. And let's just make that bold. Boom. That looks beautiful. And if we compare the two now, we have a very much working similarity. We only have two things left for this episode, which is the search bar and the cancel button, which are very easy. For the search bar, the usual, we're going to create a state variable. We're going to call it search text. And this is going to eventually be for searching users. And we're just going to attach a searchable modifier here. So we're going to do searchable. And we're going to do the one that just takes in a text, right? And actually, we want a text and a prompt. So let's do the text first. We're going to say $search text, and the prompt parameter, we're going to say search name or number. Look at that. That looks beautiful. This searchable modifier is such a good addition to SwiftUI. It looks clean. The other thing that we have left is going to be that cancel button, because remember, this is going to be a sheet that we're going to be presenting from our channel screen. So from this channel tab screen. So we need some sort of a cancel button up there to match that design. And the way to do that is for us to just create a toolbar. So we're going to attach the toolbar modifier. We're going to come down here as usual. I'm going to create an extension that represents my toolbar. So extension on ChatPartnerPickerScreen. And I'm just going to create a toolbar content modifier, content builder, sorry. And I'm just going to call it trailing, or trailing nav item. And it's going to be of some toolbar contents. And all we need in this instance is just a toolbar with a placement of trailing. And the content, I'm going to create a button down here to represent the cancel button, which is just some view. And our cancel button is just going to be a regular button that has a label. And the label is just going to be an image. So before we jump ahead, let's first put the cancel button inside of our toolbar. And let's take this trailing navigation item. Let's pump it right inside of our toolbar closure. And for the button label, it's just an image with a system name of X mark. And let's see, it should pop up on the trailing side of our preview. There we go, right there. All right, so we need to style that a little bit. Let's give it a footnote. Just make it a little bit smaller. Let's make it bold. Let's give it a foreground style of gray, right? And let's throw a pattern in there just to give it some spacing. And let's make it a background color, which you already know, system gray. I'm gonna give it system gray 5 for now, okay? And then clip shape, circle. Boom, that looks beautiful, guys. The last bit is, let us take this chat partner picker screen. Well, actually, first, let's create, because we want to be able to use this cancel button to dismiss this entire screen. So I'm going to access the dismiss environment variable. And so now we're going to come down here, and inside of the cancel button, or dismiss button, I'm just going to call it dismiss, and I'm going to invoke that. And all we need to do now is take our chat partner picker screen, let us go inside of our channel tab screen. So I'm going to close, I'm going to go to the channel tab screen, and what do we need to do, right? So we're going to say sheet is presented, and we're going to create a state variable up here. So we're going to say state private var present chat, or just show. I'm just going to say show chat partner picker view, and it's false by default. And it's presented is just going to be $show chat partner picker view. I don't like the style of closure, so I'm going to remove that. I like the trailing closure syntax. And all I'm going to do here is just call the chat partner picker screen. Okay. And so we need to invoke or change or toggle this chat partner picker view boolean to true so we can show this chat partner picker screen. And the way for us to do that is to jump into our trailing navigation item. And inside of our new chat button, so this button right here, we're just going to say show chat partner picker view. It's now equals to true. So now if we click on this plus button, it presents us that, which looks absolutely beautiful. That's exactly what we have in mind. All right, guys, that's it for this episode. In the next episode, we are going to actually start building out the other functionalities that is going to allow us to be able to create group channel. And we need to build out a couple of more components first before we go ahead and start creating a specific channel. Thank you for watching. If you enjoy this kinds of series, please like and subscribe. It means a lot to me. I'll see you guys in the next one.